Okay, part two of the Ford Ranger improvement update. It's the 20th of November 2022, and I'm just finishing up my breakfast, but I'm gonna be going up there in a little bit to do some bit more bits and bobs. But so far, what have I done? I've done the battery terminals. I've changed them because they were splitting. That was one of the things on my list. I've done that. I started to get, I got behind the dash, started to pull that back and got behind the dash and fitted a RAM ball mount to sort of the top of the dash, and then sort of bolted that down, so I wanted to get behind that, so that was like nice and secure. What else did I do? What else? Oh, like where the cigarette lighter was, I sort of ripped that out, made a sort of card template and where that area was, and then cut in a bit of ply, and in that ply I sort of put in a USB powered socket, and then the wire from that went behind the dash and up through a little grommet and to that sort of ball mount, that RAM ball mount on the dash. I also fitted a RAM track rail on the dash as well, and stuff like that. But I'm going to get back to the inside bits and bobs in a little bit. It was like last week we had or not last week, it was Monday and Tuesday, I think. It was lashing it down with rain. I mean, like big time. We had a lot of rain. And it just made me think that I'm really lucky to have that place to be able to go and do stuff and do these projects in there and stuff like that, and just tuck myself out of the rain and all that sort of thing. But yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna finish up my breakfast and stuff and then go on up there in a little bit and do a bit more. I'm fitting a Garmin Powerswitch in there now. I'm not far off doing that. I've got to get some cables connected and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll go there in a little bit and update you on that. Okay. The Powerswitch, Garmin Powerswitch is all wired up now. The positive and negative wires coming from the battery, coming on round the bulkhead to a fuse, and then positive and negative. And then the Garmin Powerswitch is a switch relay, I suppose you'd call it. And that's controlled by Bluetooth. So basically, once you've got things you want connected to it, like lights, or it could be a air compressor, it could be a fridge, whatever 12 volt thing that draws up no more than 30 amps on each circuit. So you've got 6 circuits, if you like, and that is controlled with Bluetooth. So that can be controlled with Bluetooth from your phone. So circuit 1 there, if I turn switch one on, I should say. See that lights up. Switch 3, switch 2, 4, 5, 6. And then you can turn them all off. You can also control that, so that can be controlled with your phone, or you control it with one of these, which is a Garmin sat nav, and it's a Garmin Overlander, and that's also within its program that does switches as well, and that also corresponds with on your phone. So switch 2, switch 3. So that all works Bluetooth, which is super duper clever. Then, within that as well, you've got control switches, which is basically, it will pick up a feed of when something's live. So basically, control 1, when that detects a 12-volt signal, it can be 3 volts, I think 3.3 to 12 volts. When it detects a signal, it will turn a certain switch on that you've programmed, or switches that you've programmed to come on with that feed of electricity that it detects. So basically on here, I've wired it down to the full beam wire on the headlights. So when I turn on full beam on the lights, whichever switch I've said to come on, programmed to come on, it will turn that on and turn it off. I've also got I haven't quite finished, I've got to put one into a ignition switch. So when the ignition is on, I want a driving position light to come on with the ignition switch, but I'll do that in a little bit. So yeah, they're a well clever system, I think. They're brilliant. They're bloody good. And then going back to the truck, hang on, I'll have to set the camera up again, and then I'll go into the inside and show you what I've done on the inside. It kind of works with this lot. Yeah, right. Right, so inside the truck, all that wire and stuff that I was on about earlier, that goes up to this, and then this sort of Garmin thing magnetizes onto there. So obviously that controls all that stuff, like, you know, there's mapping and all sorts of stuff for that. It's quite a clever system. Then the track thing, track rail I was on about, that, light's gone out. Hang on, let me put another battery in. Right, it's back on. So that track rail thing, so these little balls that you get, RAM track balls, they'll slide into the middle, then you can sort of like put those anywhere you want. You can have a couple on there if you want, and they sort of just like nip up. Basically the RAM stuff, it's brilliant. You can just like connect various different bits and pieces on it. There's loads of stuff if you wanted to put phones, iPads, GoPro, there's loads. It just connects to loads. And then on this one, I'm gonna, wherever that sits somewhere, once I've got that sorted, that will sit on there, and on this one, and then I can put my phone or whatever on there, and have that whichever way, wherever it sits. And then I'll have a USB cable coming up there and plugging into that. But eventually I think I'm going to do a USB-C socket into there. But that sort of thing is to come. And obviously loads more to do off my list. But yeah, I'll do a little, once I've got some lights and stuff connected, I'll show them how it all works, show you how it all works and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. And you want to watch some more, then like the video, subscribe and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's sound. So that's the end of part 2. Nice one. Go steady. Bye.